Alrighty, let's talk about Smile. The marketing for Smile, when it first started up, was so infuriating. I'm just like, this is so dumb. What are we doing here? Get these guys off my TV. It's kind of creepy. Rightfully so, right? But, then I finally watched Smile, and I was like, holy crap. That was good. That was really good. It reminded me a lot of Malignant, if you've seen that or heard of it, because it was just such like an absurd film that it was creepy. I mean, everyone knows that like somebody smiling at you very menacingly is just a creepy thing, and I guess the producers just said, this is creepy. Let's base this entire movie about people smiling very unsettling at you, and so they did it, and it's just so good. And I'm very on the fence about the sequel. I'm excited for the sequel, I'll tell you that. I look forward to seeing it. But on the other hand, it's like I just felt like the first one was just so out there and so relatively original that I'm just like, let's just leave it as that, right? Because it made enough money for us to talk about and still talk about, which is why we're getting that sequel. Regardless, though, I'm excited for the sequel. I mean, especially when you look at like where we start in the beginning of the Smile film and where we end. We start with, our main character seeing these people smile, and then they die, and then they kill themselves, and then they try to kill you. It's like that's interesting. And then we get to the very ending, and this is a big spoiler, where we see the smiling monster thing. I mean, what the heck is that thing? And who thinks of these things? And if you've ever seen the behind-the-scenes photo of that, it's real, which is why it looks so good on screen, which is why I'm very intrigued what the sequel has to offer and what the sequel has to, what it's going to show and tell us what happened to that monster, or if it's still around, or what exactly the deal is, And so I think horror's in a really good place right now, though, because not only are we getting sequels from little relatively small horror films that made a ton of money, but we're just getting relatively new ideas. And like, even though these are sequels, like, they all based off like a relatively new idea, and now we get to see more of it. I mean, it's classic, and that's just how horror films are going to be. Now when you make a sequel to an original one, depending on how much money and how much buzz your first one got, that's where the money comes in, right? So yeah, overall, Smile, it's phenomenal. I think it's great. I think it's a really fun watch for you and your friends, and just anybody else, especially during this great and lovely and wonderful time that we get to call Halloween time. So yes, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. It's a little more lighthearted.